What's up, my jelly rollers and my part-time crafters and my full-time philatelists and my flappy doodle followers? How you guys doing? Hello, hello, hello. Good evening to everybody. And it's going to be a little bit different tonight because Russ is actually wait a minute. He's here, kind of. I see Dr. Russ Romano joined. Okay, so he's here kind of in spirit, but I don't think he is in his regular studio place. He might actually be in his place of work. So Jennifer is here, and Jennifer is going to be our special guest star this evening. So she's going to be teaching you guys all about Coptic binding. And I have this secret little project that I'm working on down here. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. So looks like Jennifer is in. So hopefully, oh yeah, but see, Russ is at work, but he's checking in on us. Look at that, guys. Look at that. That's amazing. And Lex the Aussie is here. Hi. Hey, guys. And hey, Carrie and Nan. And boy, there's a bunch of people. I'm leading the art throwdown from the Arctic. This is like such first world problems. It's so humid outside. So my husband's got the AC on blast and I'm cold. So I'm wearing my favorite fleece hoodie right now. I know. And it's like 90 degrees outside. So I don't know. Go figure. Crafters are cold sometimes, I guess. And Jennifer's on the wrong device, so she's checking into that. No sweat. Let's see. Snail mail for Zoe joined. I'm going to go to the top of the list here. I see all the peacocks. Patty, is that your alter ego? I bet it is. Let's see. I'm going to let Jennifer in. For some reason, it says unable to join. I'm going to try to add her manually. Let's see if it does it. It says waiting for Jennifer. Who else? We see Phil and Nan, Lex the Aussie, Russ is in stealth mode. Hey.
Hey.
Hey, can you hear me okay?
Yeah,
You're still a little bit pixelated, but we'll try this again.
I know. I don't know. I was like trying it before. Oh, I see. Oh, weird. So I actually have you on two devices. Is there a weird echo going on?
Yes.
Oh, there is. Okay, let me. I see how pixely I am. Oh, wow, that's bad.
So turn the volume down on the one that you're watching, I think.
Let me shut it. Okay, but I see I'm pixely. That's so weird.
But I can hear you this time. You're coming through very clearly. You're slightly pixelated, but it wasn't like before. It was like it was very pixely last time. But this time it's pretty smooth, I think.
Okay. Yeah, so my idea was I was like, oh, let me do it on. Oh, hi everyone, by the way. I'm like, oh, I'm not just talking to you.
All
Everyone gets
good,
to
all
hear me.
good.
Um, so I was trying out different devices and things, and so I learned that my most stable internet is out of the computer.
Okay.
But so I was aware of this the other day and I was like, maybe if you start the live, I can jump on. But so when I go to Instagram on my laptop,
Hmm.
I can't, there's no like request button. I like can view it, but I can't get to you.
Weird. Okay, so
Yeah.
I that one I don't know about Jennifer. That I'm still kind of Instagram doofus. And I say that respectfully because Nan is our hipster doofus. I'm still an Instagram doofus a bit. So there are certain functionalities like I totally know how to use. As far as which device, I don't know. Like I'm just starting to get my lighting right. So it's been a work in progress for a few months here. So, but you're not as pixely as before. So like there's that. I think that's fine.
So maybe if everyone in the world stays off the internet, because I'm kind of using this exact same device I used last time. That was
It's working though. It's working. I can hear you fine. So,
okay. We'll just hope for the best.
All right, I'm going to peek at the comments really quick here
Yeah.
because usually Russ does the honors, and I'm like, where's my comment reader? He's not here. So, all
Oh
right.
no, I always thought it was you.
Oh, no, because usually I'm heads down on my postcard. I'm like, well, I'm just going to go fade out for a while and go do a collage. And then Russ is like, and so is here, and such says this. And I'm like, oh, I guess I should be paying attention to the comments too.
Oh wait, I could see him in the comments. I think he's taking care of us.
He's in there. No, he's here. It's so
Yeah.
eerie. He's here, but he's not here. So let's see. Frank commented on my thick sweater coat. Okay, thank you, Frank. Noted.
So you're
And
cold? Because I'm like so hot in my
well,
apartment.
my husband's got all the ACs going in here, and we just had
Oh,
our
fine.
insulation in the house. Our house is like old as dirt. It's over 100 years old. So we finally got that thing where I think the county or something subsidizes, like if you get insulation, it's supposed to conserve energy or whatever. So we did that, and it's been good. Like it actually, when we turn the AC on, like our house doesn't lose the coolness, so it maintains. So I'm like, for the first time in like the 4 years that we've been here, it's not a freaking sauna in our house. So I'm like, I'm just gonna wear a sweatshirt right now.
All right, that works.
Patty's here, and she was on her All the Peacocks account, but she said it was the wrong account. Patty, Peacocks is never a wrong account, just saying. Nick is here. Red Hydra is here. Ooh, that's a new name. Hello and welcome. Frank says, glad I didn't join my alternate account, Swimmy the Clown. All right.
Oh,
And then Patty was on the Zoom with Fee and Jennifer today. Sorry I missed that. I was working, so
that's okay. Just me and Fee hanging out with no jobs. It was the best.
all good. And then Moonlight Clover, straight out from Idaho, joined us. Hello, Moonlight. And let's see, real quick here. Carrie told her coworkers about swimming. Like, this is an important topic, Swimmy the Clown, for those of you who might have missed the conversation topic. But since Dr. Russ Romano is on, he does not like clowns, and I probably should not tell the story. Frank says, don't move quickly as we are going through our tutorial tonight. Okay, so just in case we get any lag or like intermittent pixelation, so far, like, knock on wood, you are stable. So I'm like, dude, let's do this.
Okay, well, it's sort of, we're not quite learning it yet. We're sort of more talking about materials
Perfect.
and
Okay.
choices on how to get ourselves set up
All
to
right.
do it.
All right.
But what are you working on?
So I have these postcards. This is like a multi-step process for me. So you guys know me, like I can't just go to a store and buy postcards. Like that just never works. And I have to upcycle my postcards. So I have been hard at work, and my daughters were actually doing a coloring project across from me until about 10 minutes ago, and I yelled at them and I said it was time for bed, and they got mad, but whatever. So I have these are the write-on sides of the postcards that are going to be going out to folks for the bingo. And I'm not
Ooh,
going to spoil the surprise. All of the bingo card fronts are on the other side of this. So this is what the write-on side or the back of the postcard is going to look like. I've got my postcard stamps here just in case I have time tonight to start writing these out to people. But so far, we have a grand total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 16. We have like 17 people. Like this is going to get real. We got 17 people that are signed up to do bingo, and there's a few others that I have messaged that are occasional attendees here. So anybody who is an occasional attendee, if you're watching this and you want to join in on the fun, we are going to have a bingo game here on Art Throwdown. And Russ's very own Bacone, the stuffed pig, is going to be. Now, I don't know how he's going to do this. He does not have opposable thumbs, but somehow, supposedly, Russ's pet pig is going to be drawing the words. So this isn't number bingo. This is craft word bingo. And we've got a whole slew of craft supplies and terms that we use frequently here on Art Throwdown. So we'll be drawing those. And yes, the free space is going to say Art Throwdown. So that's pretty fun. And just DM me your P.O. box or your address if you want to play along. We have not set a date for this, but I promise you the prizes will be modest, basically something that you can send with like a first class stamp, one first class stamp. Might be a couple of bigger prizes mixed in, but they're mostly paper crafting type prizes. So you'll get maybe a sheet of stickers or some jaunty stamps or a cool postcard. Like who knows? We don't know. So we're kind of putting together a lineup of possible prizes, and that is the plan for that. So that is what I'm working on sneakily over here. These
I'm sort of folding this random thing while you were talking.
Okay. Oh, and
So,
before you say
uh,
that, Russ says
yeah.
Star Wars lenticular stamps, best 4 words ever. They are going to be one of the prizes. He's offering that up as a prize.
Ooh.
Frank says that he keeps getting a freeze up, so I have to keep jumping back in.
A freeze up on onion.
Is it so, Frank? Is it both of our ends that gets frozen, or is it just Jennifer, or is it? Let me know. And Carrie says bingo. So, bingo. So I
So
interrupted you. You're folding. So,
no, that's okay. Yeah, I'm doing this like folding. So I took this origami class this morning at the New York Botanical Gardens
cool.
on Zoom. I mean, it was with them, but on Zoom. I didn't go there. And so we learned my notepad's over there. Took notes. Like I think molecular, no molecules. I know it's units, units. So we folded units of paper and we interlocked them all together to make cool stuff. So,
So it's like a molecular structure made of paper.
molecular, that's the word. Yes.
Oh,
So I made these triangles this morning, these triangle cubes, that is.
those are beautiful. I like the color combos on those. Now, is that
Yeah,
that is not all one piece of paper? That's like multiple little pieces.
it's literally 3 pieces.
Cool. So it's called molecular origami.
Origami.
All right, I'm
Hmm.
writing this down.
And this is actually, wait, okay, maybe my notebook's here. Hold on. Okay. Um, yeah, molecular. Okay. There's this weird word that it's called. Where'd it go?
And Angel81 just joined. Hello. We announce everybody as they come in and we say hi. So,
Oh,
welcome
that's
to our group of adventurous crafters. And for anybody that's new here to Art Throwdown, as Jennifer's looking through her notes, we are here Monday through Friday, weeknights at 10 p.m. Eastern. So, yes. Russ says that is also called tessellation origami. I have never heard that term.
Ooh. So there was some combination. It was called Sonobo.
Okay.
I feel like it was not what this is called, but it's the thing that before it becomes this. I don't know. I got a little lost there. Sonobe. So you could look that up. Anyway, so yeah, so there was that, and then there was also this box, and
Cubism.
they're
Look at the
hollow.
cube. That's
Yeah.
beautiful. So is there a
So
way to open that or is it just supposed to be like a structure?
it's just a structure. Although, so when I was talking with Fee earlier, she was like, "Oh, can it be like my wrapping thing if I put something inside?" Which
Ooh.
I guess it could be, except if your person opens it, I don't know if they know how to put it back together.
So essentially,
So
once
that's
they've
the only
opened it, they've killed the origami.
maybe, unless you
Maybe.
send them a sheet of instructions to go with it. So maybe it's like, here it is, open it to get your prize,
Right.
and here's instructions so you can put it back together. But
I like that. It's an unconventional way to wrap and present a gift. And I think Russ is over there. I think he must be on his lunch break. Russ is probably nodding right now that yes, this is a sound
yeah.
idea. How
So
I guess you'd have to put something pretty lightweight inside there, like maybe like a necklace or something small that's not too heavy, so it doesn't bust out of the origami. If you did that,
yeah, I think Fee was talking about like earrings or something. So,
Whoa. Oh my God. Can you imagine doing teeny tiny? Now, are those the triangle? Are those tiny
yeah.
squares? Okay.
No, so both of them are the same fold. It's where you make three of these. The lighting, I feel like not clear. There, that one you could kind of see the fold a little better.
Yep.
So yes, you start with a sheet of paper and I know this is like a total sidetrack from the
No, no, we
Coptic.
love rabbit holes. Like, let's go. Let's go down the rabbit hole. This is great.
So, okay, so should I show one of these folds and then we'll go back to our other thing? Okay,
Yeah.
so this is going to be an interesting attempt in ornaments for the holiday tree, says Russ.
Or earrings. Wasn't it Fee that said like you could make if you do a micro
Oh,
version of that,
or they could be like
they could be
yeah.
massive bobble earrings,
That's
or if you do a smaller version, you could make like
oh, yeah.
tiny microscopic triangle 3D thingies and then Mod Podge them and then stick a fish hook through them, like a fish hook earring, and then or like a jump ring and just make an
Oh,
earring.
what a good idea. Oh,
Dude,
I
I'm
think
on
that's
board
what
with
we're making
that. Let's
together.
make some
Yeah,
jewelry.
that's our project.
All right.
Okay, I'm gonna attempt to do a tipping down here. That I experimented with,
That
but
is
now
like my challenge when I do those because my whole thing is like it's a whole rig, like it's all balanced on
oh,
glue sticks and stuff. So, but
that
you guys
weirdly
don't see
worked.
that because we keep up appearances here.
So, right, guys, that works. I think I
Yes.
can't read the comments. I
No,
could just
I will do the Russ Romano special here, and I'll read the comments. Pam says, "Hola, everyone. Hi, Pam." And I
Hi, Pam.
see Manda's mail. Hello. And Russ is like, gotta go lock up that building. Have a great night. Enjoy, Russ. Safe travels back home.
Hi
Thanks
there.
for joining.
Okay, wait. Perfect. Okay. So we have our square paper, and then you fold it in half. And so I learned the origami lingo. So when you fold it in half, it's called a book fold, which is kind of cool. Okay.
So origami has like its own terminology, naturally. Oh, is that a bone
Yeah,
folder I see?
it is. Yes.
All right, so model your bone folder. Is that the resin or the bone one?
You're thinking the Teflon.
Oh, sorry, Teflon. Okay.
It's the bone one.
Russ
And
says
rest
that
of
he got
that.
his stinky postcard, but it lost its stink by the time it got to him. Russ, the key to that is take the postcard and sniff the part that I wrote on. It low key smells like barbecue. Tell me I'm wrong. Anyway, all right, so back to the book fold and the bone
That's it.
folder.
Okay, so we did the book fold. Oh, okay. So now I folded two sides together, and it's called the cabinet fold because
Oh,
it's like a cabinet,
yeah, it
right?
opens up
To
like a little
open.
kitchen cupboard. How cool.
Yeah. So we got our cabinet. Okay. Then we do the diagonal fold. So I'm going to start from like the top right corner, left, top left corner. And because it matters which direction. And do a fold there. Then we're going to go in the other way.
Pam says, Russ, don't smell the postcard in public. People are going to start to wonder. Yeah, maybe save that for home, but just like put it right up to your face and then inhale. It smells like barbecue.
Although, you know what I used to do? So H&H was this like amazing famous bagel store that would only sell bagels. Like they wouldn't put it like make a sandwich. It would just be the bagel.
Okay.
And so if you caught them on a day that it was warm, like, you know, it was right out of the oven, you'd be like, what's warm? So you get it, a warm, freshly baked bagel in a brown bag.
Oh my
And I
God.
would walk away from the store literally like inhaling into the bag. Yes. I'm like, oh.
Oh my
That's
God.
so
And Pam is
amazing.
saying she misses H&H Bagels. She misses that store very much. Jennifer, did you have a favorite bagel type? I would do everything bagel. Like that's usually my go-to.
I'm kind of plain.
Okay.
Just love plain and as a
Solid.
backup step.
Okay.
But
Back up as sesame.
yeah. So, okay, wait, let's see if I could do this while talking. So we open it. Oh yeah, okay. So we did our diagonals
Okay.
and then we open it and then you kind of go like that. No. That's so funny. I was doing it. Talking is so hard. Okay, no, yeah, that's it.
That's
You
like
just
when I
flip
make
it
an
in.
envelope. It's like I'm doing it upside down so I can show everybody, but then I'm like, why doesn't this work? Ah.
Okay, so there we are, like this. Then we have these little flappies on the outside, the
I
flappadoodles, right?
believe the scientific term is flappy doodles.
Yes, so to get rid of my flappy doodles. Okay, that sounds weird. Okay, for sure. So you just fold them in.
Fold in the flappy doodles.
Yes, fold and tuck. Okay, there we are. So now I made one of these guys.
Cool. All
So
right.
then to do the cube, you need three of
Oh wow. So
these.
you pre-made more of those, right? Like where
I
they just appeared.
I kind of have been folding them all day.
She's like, "Don't
So
worry, I got this prepared."
yeah, so then that's three. And then to do the cube, it was six.
Oh wow. Okay.
So I could try to put it all together, but I thought to pause on that and go back to our very important things.
Okay. Okay.
So that way that's out of the way. Okay. So back to Coptic. Okay. So here's just another one that I made. And
Pretty.
I wanted
I
to show it because it's kind of like your collages,
was gonna
but
say that looks collagey. Did you make a collage?
yeah,
That
I
is
did a
gorgeous.
collage book cover.
And where did I'm always fascinated by paper scraps. Like, go figure, right? Says the postcard collage person. Where do your scraps of paper come from? Are those pre-cut? Are those like offcuts that you just had lying around? Like, what do you use?
Yes, definitely offcuts or scraps that I found. I I do teach classes from the Center for Book Arts in Manhattan, and they have like a studio space, so there's always like
Oh my
a
God.
like in the guillotine, which is also I think Russ has taken classes there. So there's they have a guillotine which is like basically a giant paper cutter that's automated. So you like flip a switch and like do this thing and it's like this huge
It sounds
slice.
awesome and dangerous. Is it dangerous?
Yeah. Yeah, you have to be trained. So there's that, and then there's the board shears, which is like a giant paper cutter that's like a piece of furniture. So it's like imagine it the size of your table, and then it has like a bucket on the side to collect
Oh my
all the
God.
scraps. And so there's always like random stuff in there. So every time you go to the studio, I'm like picking up like scraps and things. And
If I was working there, this would be me. I'd be like,
yeah, I'm
I'd
seriously
be
paper
stealing
addicted.
all the scraps because people probably work with a lot of different patterns and colors and
Yeah.
textures. Like, oh my God, I'd be all over that. So is that where those scraps came from? The guillotine, you
Yeah,
mean?
so yeah, I get all
Man,
my scraps from there. For
fancy.
sure. So it's all fine paper scraps and whatnot. So yeah, so I wanted to inspire people. So yeah, you can make a collage for your book covers. The board that I used. Oh wait, let me grab a naked piece.
No worries. Yeah, I'm just admiring. Look at all the little shapes and different size cuttings. And yes, Carrie, I am Miss Frugality. I keep trying to call myself El Cheapo, like hoping it'll stick, but Russ keeps telling me I'm not allowed to say that. He corrects me and he tells me that I am frugal. I also will accept thrifty. So yeah, I also like the term upcycle. The upcycler. We call it upcycling. Ellie Miller Studios joined as well. Hello. Pam, I'm just going to go back up in the comments here. Pam told her boss that his flappy doodles were showing and they had a stare off. And then he turned red and he walked away. Oh my God. I love it. Pam, that's hysterical. So the whole, I don't know, this whole Flappy Doodles thing, I thought that was gonna die after, I don't know, Monday night. Oh, and here's the irony, guys, while she's getting her stuff ready. Okay, Frank was, Russ said that Frank was going to watch the last 5 minutes of Monday's episode on YouTube just to hear me laughing hysterically and uncontrollably. Okay, I went on there. I put the episode up. I was all diligent about it. And I'm like, all right, well, the episode's posted. I'm going to wipe this from my phone and delete it because it's taking up memory. It's gone. And it's an hour worth of footage. So I'm like, okay, it's wiped. I go back on there, and to my horror, you can't hear my voice on the recording for Monday or Tuesday night on the YouTube recordings. You can hear Russ, but you can't hear my voice. So I don't know if when the video, when it was rendering, something funky happened, but you can only hear Russ's voice on the video. Not so if you listen to this live for the next 24 hours after I post it to Instagram for the live stream. But for some reason, when I recorded this, I don't know what happened. So you will hear Russ's voice, which frankly, that's where the real tutorial is. So it probably doesn't matter. But you can't hear me laughing. You only see me laughing silently about Flappy Doodles on Monday. So anyway, so Jennifer, other question for you,
Yeah.
Inside that book, what type of paper did you use for the pages?
So, this is MBM de Arches. So the letter M, B, M, and then D apostrophe arches. So, yeah, I feel like, it's so funny because like with V, I was like, oh, this is my practice run. I'll be like so organized and so set for tonight. And I totally haven't done like a thing that I went over with her. I'm like so distracted.
It's all good. I mean, Russ and I mostly fly by the seat of our pants normally, so, it's all good.
But so, because I went like when people were looking for paper, so this is like a good text weight paper. Um, to use. This is more of like a fine paper, but like let's say at home, you really just wanted to use what you have around the house. You probably, you can use copy paper. If you wanted to, order something that was like copy paper, but just like a little better, there's this company called French Paper Company
Okay.
on their online only, and they actually that's the paper that I used on the inside of my coaster book. So like this color is like called oatmeal, I think, and it has just like it's brown with a few flecks,
It's
and it's just
beautiful.
kind of slightly better than copy paper. Like the weight of it, it's like a good text weight paper.
It
You
kind of
do have
reminds
to,
me of like resume. Like, that
yes,
fancier paper you would print a resume on or a CV? That's what that reminds me of.
yeah, no, that it is kind of it
Okay.
can be used a lot for resume paper. The only thing is you kind of have to buy it in bulk, like in a ream. So, pick a color you like because you're gonna get like 500 of
Oh
it.
my gosh. Unless you want to
But
share them with everybody.
or
Yeah.
maybe it was a
Hey,
hundred. I
Anna.
don't
Anna just joined. Hello.
know. So, yeah, I mean, you'll use it all eventually. So there's that. Or like, let's say you want to do watercolor, like if you could use watercolor paper. Um, so that's a choice also.
Or thick, how about like thick, heavy markers that might bleed through copy paper? Would that be a good choice for markers?
Uh, yeah, you wouldn't want to use text weight paper. You would want to use like a thicker paper then.
So like a truly heavyweight paper for that.
Yes, the only thing is you have to kind of some papers they even though it's heavy, they fold really well. So, but other papers they're heavy and then they don't fold well. Like it cracks, kind of like it looks
Mm-hmm.
like a cracked, weird smush look when you fold it. So, then if you so it might be a little bit of an experiment, like choosing the right paper in that way, or you could pre-score it. But then that sort of adds another step. It's just so nice to just be able to, to just fold,
Yep. Yep.
you know. Um, so okay, then so as for right, so for covers, there's oh right. So this is just like normal book board. Um where it's like this tan color.
Is that
And
like a
so for
chipboard, Jennifer?
this is bookboard, but you could use like a chipboard. I happen to have these, which I think is like a chipboard or a much lighter kind of cardboard that happens to be like coated white on one side,
Uh-huh.
which I also these I found these by the guillotine. I mean, it was just like strips. And then I had these offcuts from something I cut, these strips, and I was like, wait, this size kind of matches.
You're
I'll
like, oh
make a
my God,
book.
it fits together. Why not?
Yeah, or maybe I trimmed it a little, but I was like, oh, great, I'll make a long book. So yeah, you could use like a chipboard. The thing about it, you need whatever you choose, you need like a top and bottom. You don't need a spine piece because we're doing exposed stitching.
Okay, so the whole
So
point is to show off your beautiful stitching for Coptic binding.
yes,
Okay.
yes. So yeah, so when you're thinking about the cover, so here, coasters, or if you want to choose like a cardboard type of thing, um, you if you want to do like that, the paper collage thing, you can, do glue or whatever if you want to be a little more technical. What I did use when I put paper to board, you want to use paste and not glue,
Mm-hmm.
um, which you could either make it like for real or you could use instant. I kind of love instant. It's way better. And kind of a little easier. So this is what I get. It's from Talus, and so it's a wheat paste, and it's 1 part this and 4 parts water, and you just like stir it, and it looks like oatmeal, and it's ready to go.
I was going to
And
say
then
that
you
almost looks edible, that wheat paste you got there.
well, not yet. Yeah, you have to add the water, but don't eat it. But yeah. So I mean, it lasts you a long time. This is 1 pound, and you could see I've been working on it for quite a while.
And is that
Um,
considered an archival paste?
yes, yeah, it's archival.
Okay. Okay.
So if you're doing your paper to board, but if you want to avoid that, other ways to, rather than doing that, you could find like an object that already is kind of a hard sort of surface. So like how Russ did the bingo board cover for that other stitch, like that you can
Yes.
also do for this type of stitch. I was looking through my collection and I found this book that I made. So this is wood. And I actually like did it like a drilling burnish thing and just like put on this like tree.
That's
So
cool.
that's like etched into it kind of. And, again, there's my book. So if anyone, has that access to wood and that type of thing, like anything goes for covers. So,
Very pretty. And you're getting all
yeah.
sorts of comments. Pam says, wow, that is neat. And Ashley says her ideal use for that would be postcard cover would be her plan for a book.
Yeah, you can use that also. It's a little lighter maybe than I would normally use, but it's doable. Um, I think you would just maybe be a bit more careful when you're pulling it through.
Of course, you
Um,
could use one of my postcards, which they have like a bajillion layers of stuff. I don't know. Even then, these are a little probably more flexible than that chipboard and that wood piece. Nan wants to know, what is the wheat paste for?
oh, that's if you're pasting paper, like if you want to adhere paper to your book board, you want to use paste. Whereas if you're adhering book cloth to board, then you want to use PVA, which is the white glue. So it's
Aha,
like
that's
the
the stronger
paper, or
stuff, right?
yes, it's just paste it's kind of better for paper because when you add it to paper, it relaxes the paper. It really gets all like into the paper and allows it to move easier. When you use the PVA, the white glue, it's stiffer and it doesn't allow the paper to kind of move the same. It's also kind of the rule, but it you see why once you start using it.
So the paste, does that also help prevent like the little bubbles in paper sometimes that you see, especially if you're using like a thinner paper?
Yeah, maybe because it's like it completely wets the whole thing and it allows you just to get it on there really nice and smooth. So that's sort of like a side thing. I feel like that might be have been like an extra a bit too much for us right now, like over our heads, as far as focusing on kind of making this happen.
Sure.
But I just kind of threw that in anyways.
So the brand of the paste, Nan, it's Talus Wheat Paste. Talus is the brand, and
No, Talus is the store.
oh, sorry, Talus is the store. Maybe show that bag
And
again.
yes, it's wheat paste number 301.
There you go. And it's 1 part wheat paste and 4 parts water. Was that right?
Yes.
Oh, Talas. I spelled that wrong. Talus is the store. Okay. All right. Wheat paste number 301. We gotcha. Thank you.
Yes, that's instant. So, okay. So that's sort of, I feel like, I'm sorry. I feel like
No,
I'm like
no, this
taking
is this is super
over.
helpful because I didn't
Okay.
until you just showed me. I had no idea what wheat paste was. Let's see. I had never heard of French Paper Company. I had never heard of MBMD arches. I did not know what tessellation origami was. So no, no, keep explaining. This is all super,
Okay.
super helpful.
Okay. And then I feel like there's also another paper that I'm like totally forgetting. So someone has to remind me because there's also another good sort of in between paper that's still kind of text weight, but a little thicker than, super thin. But I'm forgetting off the top of my head. So I have to check a file,
Yeah,
not
no
during the
worries.
hour, and then let you guys know. Um, okay. So now you want to choose your paper. Unless you're choosing like a specific object, like let's say, if I chose this coaster, I have to make sure my inside paper fits the cover. But if you're sort of not using a specific object, it's actually easier to first get your paper to the size you want it to be and then go and do the cover. That's kind of the rule all around. First, figure out your paper size and then figure out your cover. You with me? Okay.
So far, so
So
good.
the
Yep.
okay, so the paper on the inside, just another book term then is all the paper on the inside is called the text block.
Okay.
Text block. Okay. So the paper can be any size. And I rarely do any measuring. I want to grab something.
Sure.
So, and I don't know what, oh, wait. I don't know what paper this is. It's like a printmaking paper. That was also like sort of an extra. Someone was throwing out this like poem thing, and I was like, "What? That's amazing paper. I'm just
You
gonna
can't
use
throw
it."
away poems. That's like
Oh,
sacrilegious. You can't do that.
no, someone else was. I saved it for the
That's what
paper.
I'm saying. Like, good on you for saving a poem. What does the poem
No,
say? Is it a good poem?
well, I don't know. I'm kind of tearing it down. I'm getting rid of the poem because I have a stack of them.
Oh,
Unless you want it, I could send you one. But um, yeah, I don't know what it is. I mean, it is kind of cool, but we're gonna tear it down.
all right,
So
all right.
as I keep like flipping it around, so you can't even see it. So yeah, it's a good, I mean, it was letterpress printed. So I mean, it's a good printmaking paper. I just don't know what it is. But here's my point. So let's say I have this paper and I'm like, oh, I want to make a book. Instead of measuring the size of this paper, I just let the paper speak to me. Whatever size it becomes after folding it, that's the size of the book. No
Got it.
measuring
No
it.
measuring. I like this
Yeah.
already.
Just, I know, right? So, okay, I have to go a little lower here. Um, okay, so then there's also this other thing that might be a bit like a bit of a hard concept, which is grain direction. And I didn't care about it for like a year. Like when I first learned it, you're like, what's the point? Anyway, eventually it just becomes a part of you. So here's grain direction. This is how to explain it. So you take a piece of paper and see how this is kind of rolling over and see, and I'm still clear. Just clear check.
Yes, clear. Yes, still
Okay.
clear. Yep.
Okay. So you see that bounce and you kind of see how it is, right?
Yep.
Okay. So now I'm going to try the other direction.
It seems like it
And
doesn't want to go that way.
right. Yeah. So it kind of, there's more tension. It's not really wanting to go. So what that means is this direction, then that it wants to go, it means that this up top to bottom, that is the direction of the grain.
Okay, so the grain right now, the way you're holding the paper, the grain is vertical.
Yes.
Okay.
So ideally, in bookbinding, you want to have the pages of your book. You actually want everything to match. The direction of your board, the direction of the paper on the board, the direction of your pages. You all ideally want it to go head, which is the top, to tail, the bottom. So that kind of also speaks to me as to what size the book will be once I tear it down. Now, if you're not gluing your pages from your text block to your like your covers, you could kind of cheat and get away with it if it's the wrong grain direction. But ideally, this is what you want. So, who got lost there?
No,
Yeah.
no, so far so good. Does anybody have any questions thus far for Jennifer as to technique or comments or anything you want to throw in the comments? So we'll take a
Yes.
quick pause, make sure everybody's following. For me, so far so good. It makes very logical sense.
Okay. So basically, don't obsess about grain direction, but when you're choosing the paper, so, whatever size your paper is, you could get a feel, see what you think, whatever you think it is, you know, go with. And then usually what I do is immediately, because I'm going to forget, right? So I take a pencil that's not on the table.
No worries. And Ashley is saying that was a very clear explanation. I agree, it was. Crystal
Cool.
clear. Very clear explanation.
So as soon as I know what the direction is, I actually put a little arrow mark in the corner. So
Ah,
I remember. Because otherwise you're like, oh, what was it? I could have forgotten. So then I'm
my
going to
next
fold it
question
in
is how
half.
far over do you fold? Or do you just kind of gauge it based on like how the text or design is laid out on the paper?
Oh,
Or do you just fold the whole darn thing in half like
yeah, I'm literally folding the whole thing in half. If there's text, if you're trying to find something with text already on the page, yes, there's definitely consideration for that. In this case, I'm actually ignoring the text. It's like pattern for me. I'm pretending it's like a whole bunch of circles, so it doesn't even matter. Um, so yeah, folding the whole thing in half, and then this is where my bone folder comes in handy. So I'm going to press that down. And then tearing's a whole nother thing. It kind of does take a lot of practice to get it just right. But if you're kind of doing a bounce and pushing, I'm sort of pushing out as I glide up. So it's a push out
And
and
it
then
looks like
glide
you're
up.
holding that bone folder at like maybe a 45-degree angle or a slight
Yeah,
angle, so you're
yes, I am. It's
sliding underneath that perforation.
yeah, so if that's my paper, yeah, I'm definitely at an angle there. But you're not just pushing up, you're kind of going out.
Mm-hmm.
But, or, so do what feels comfortable. You could use this, a letter opener, you could cut your paper, whatever you want to do, to get your paper done. And this is where you're creating your own decal edge.
Ah, automatic deckled. Look at that.
Yeah. Who
Looks
is deco
good.
on bingo?
Oh, I gotta add that. So it's not on this current bingo card, but I will add deckled edge or deckling, deckle to my
Oh,
list.
cool. So then, of course, at some point you're going to fold it against the grain so that you end up back with the grain. And so that is a little more of a challenge. So if you have more of the lightweight, the text weight paper, usually I'll do 4 sheets together as a signature. So a group of folded paper. So there's a group of folded paper because we're doing folded sheets, not single cut sheets. You have to have a
Okay,
fold.
not single cuts.
Yeah,
Okay.
if you do a single cut, do it again, or your book is smaller. Like that's it. There's nothing to, like, that's a different stitch. For this, you have to have a folded page. So, so yeah, you have your fold, and what did you find? Oh, yeah!
I was like, wait a minute, where have I seen that technique before? There are, okay, so this is the long rectangular journal that Love and Stamps made for my birthday. And I'm excited because I think this is the same technique. So if you look in the center here, it looks like she's got, let's see, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so she's got 3 pages, and they're like a little V, and then she stitched them into this little paper book she made. So I guess this would be technically, here's the cover. There are 2 signature blocks, if you guys can see this, inside of my little handmade book from June. So, all right,
Yeah.
just connecting some dots there.
Yes. So good.
Cool.
And yeah, so a signature is defined as 2 or more folded sheets of paper,
Okay.
which is what you have. So if you were just to fold 1 sheet of paper, it's actually called a folio. So if you had only 1 folded piece of paper, it's a folio. As soon as you have 2 or more, it's a signature.
Okay.
So if you're using lightweight paper, you want to, as a rule, it kind of tends to be 4 to a grouping. If you're using heavier weight paper, like this paper that I have, which is really thick, I'm gonna actually only put 2 together
Okay, so your signature
because
is going to have
4,
2 pages. 2 pages for
yeah,
a
4,
signature.
yes, 4 kind of is just too thick. It would add up. It's already going to be thick enough to get to punch your holes. If you have 4, you really are going to have to push your awl a lot, and it's just not as graceful.
And that's going
So
to give you, that's going to leave more margin for making a mistake, right? If you make it too thick.
it's, well, I don't know.
Oh, Ashley's making a good connection here. That's why hotels call that thing that they hand you your room
Oh,
key in as
in
a
a folio.
How many guest folios
Oh,
have I had in my life through my travels? Like bajillions. Yeah, it's a real number. But no, I can't. I've seen the guest folio like so many times, and it comes in the. Now that makes
right.
sense. I never made that connection before. Interesting. The
And
terminology
when,
alone is fascinating for this.
yes, I like that. And so when you're folding your groups, also just note, I didn't fold 1 page and then 1 page and then put it together. I folded both together.
At
You
the
want to
same
fold
time.
your set together. It'll help lock it kind of together in place, and will help when moving it around. It
Gotcha.
kind of stays together better. So, So, and then I did two of these earlier, so I actually have four. And you see with
Ooh.
thicker page, you have like a chunkier book.
Yep.
And then
It's
versus
beautiful.
here, which is a thinner page, it's a thinner book. And here there's 6 signatures.
So is it like a lighter copy paper, that one?
This one is the French paper.
Okay.
So, French Paper Company, which is kind of the resume paper where it's like heavier than copy paper, um, but not cardstock, you know.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, and then that will be my covers for this one,
Cool.
and then so this is what I was saying. So the paper decided that it was this size of book. I didn't measure this at all. So now that I'm like, okay, here's the size of my book. Now I could still go thicker. I mean, I think as a rule of thumb for learning, sort of like 6 to 8 signatures is a good thickness, or not thickness of a good amount.
Mm-hmm.
So, but as far as the size of the book, so now that I have this, then I could take, if I have a sheet of bookboard or chipboard or whatever, and then lay this, well, this is the wrong, obviously too small, but then lay it and then make your cut from there. And again, I'm not even measuring. I'll like literally just line this up,
Now I
look
see
at it.
why you said it's based on the paper size, not the cover. So the cover kind of
Yes.
follows as not as an afterthought, but it follows. It's the second
Yeah.
step.
So unless you're doing something really specific, like if you're like, I want to put it in my bingo board, or if I want to make sure it's, goes into this postcard or coaster, unless you have real specific cover. If you don't have a specific cover, don't cut it in
Okay,
advance
so then
and
you
do the
just kind
paper
of let the
first.
paper do the talking.
Yes.
Cool. Okay.
So, as far as how much you would want to cut, oh, this obviously is not a good comparison because it's too skinny, but you want to be flush to the edge for your spine. So, or you, for the most part, I mean, you don't have to be so much where you think it's on the outside. You might like just move it in like a real tiny, tiny smidge,
Okay.
if you're measuring it just to make sure it's in there. But then that outer spine is basically the flush edge. Then the other three, you could do like literally like a 16th of an inch of board around of cover around it, which then is called the square of the book, so that it fits in there.
Gotcha. So far, so good. Folks out in comment land, any questions for Jennifer at this point in her demo? And this, thank you so much, like for explaining the terminology and just the reasoning behind all this stuff. This definitely helps.
Yay. Um, and what else? There's something. Oh, right. Then, so that's as far as figuring out paper and boards. Then I wanted to just review tools.
Oh yeah, so there is an awl involved, right?
Yes.
And a bone
So,
folder, and there was something else that Russ was using as like a trough. What's that trough thing? I don't know the
yeah,
name for it.
I think just I don't know. So, wait. So that's definitely a good way to go. It's like a cradle, a cradle. He was using a cradle.
Okay.
Um, which there are ways to make your own. I actually do not know how to do that. Maybe that's something Russ could show us. I don't know. I don't want to put it on a but
I'm
just
like, Russ, you have
you don't
homework.
have Russ, you don't have to. But if you want to, that's something you could do. But yeah, so you have your awl. I keep mine in a cork. And oh, hey, there's my friend. Off
Hello to Off Northern.
northern.
Hello. And Rhonda just
My
joined.
friend I forget.
Rhonda and Off Northern, good evening.
So you have an awl, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that is going to be good. Um, you can either use it to punch your holes in your signatures. Now, if you only have an awl, you would then want to be aware. Wait, I'm just going to put that behind it to see it. That see how the very point is kind of like it's more of a point and then it goes thicker as it goes up.
Mm-hmm.
So you would have to be very careful when punching because you would literally only want to go that far in.
So is there a
Otherwise,
mark or a guide on there, or do you just kind of go by the feel of it?
you when you push it, you just go really slow so that you have the tiniest hole and
Because
then
I'm
it
the type
doesn't
of
go
person who would just
wider.
be like, well, and then, it would have like different sized holes.
So yeah, so that takes a little more control. This
So
then
don't be
would be a
impulsive with
better
your
choice.
awl is the advice I'm low key getting here. Do not be impulsive with your awl cutting, your awl punching.
Right. But with this, you can be. I don't, wait, is that not a good color? Wait, no. There, aha, you can see it better. Okay, so this is a pin tool or needle tool, it's often called. It's kind of the same tool that if you've ever done clay
Yep.
and you've like done that scratching. So this tool, actually, weirdly enough, at Talus, they sell it, but it's called a student awl, and I actually don't recommend it.
Okay.
So
Don't buy the
from them,
student
don't
awl
get it from them.
from
It's
Talus.
horrible.
Okay.
I actually got this from an online company for clay tools. I don't remember what it was called. I ordered probably, I think I got like 50 because I wanted a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just have since I was ordering it online. And oh my God, it's so late. I just glanced at the time.
We have 5 more minutes. No, keep going. This is great.
So, so tomorrow's free then?
Yeah, I mean, like if you want to continue this on tomorrow night, like this is helpful to learn about all the terminologies and the styles, and all the tools that you need and the different types of paper. Like this is all super helpful. So yeah, I'm like, dude, go with it. It's awesome.
Okay, great. So it might be to be continued tomorrow then.
Yes, to be continued
Um,
tomorrow. Awesome.
Great. Okay, at least there's not a pressure to get it all in 4 minutes.
No, no,
Okay.
no, no. Nothing like that.
So, but yeah, so this, yeah, I was just gonna say the company I ordered it from, I swore it was never gonna come. It took forever to come, and there was no like confirmation email, and I'm like, oh my God. But then it eventually came, and I mean, it's really the best tool ever. But yeah, look for clay companies.
It's called Clay
And this
Companies.
Yeah, no, it's not. I'm saying if you just search maybe like clay tools online, it might come up. But I could look back at my receipt to
Yeah,
see.
if you happen to have the make and model of that there pin tool, let us know. Because I feel like that thing is more my speed. I look at the awl and I'm like, oh my God, you've got to store it in a cork, and I'm like, I'm just gonna cut myself with this thing. Like it's gonna
Yeah, well,
happen. It's Murphy's
yeah,
law.
those are good. Oh, thank you, Pam. Carrie. Okay. So yes, so those are the tool kind of poking tools as it be. So this one, yeah, I tend to use this more for punching in the signatures. This one you do need though for this book. And you're gonna need it in order to punch your covers. So then you need a hammer and you want to set yourself up with a punching board.
Okay.
So keep that in mind. Don't do it on your dining room table. You don't want holes in that table.
So that's just a
So
little scrap piece of wood there you've got.
it's like several sheets of bookboard that I tape together. So um but think about old magazines. You could use a stack of old, like Peoples if you're done with them or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. That whatever you don't mind getting a hole in, but or just yeah, build up. It could be a block of wood, build up some cardboard, to a certain thickness.
Awesome.
So
Awesome.
because then you're gonna end up like, so if that's like your board and then that's there and then I don't have my hammer, but and then you like hammer it and it creates the hole in your cover.
Nice. And you're not damaging the surface that's underneath that. Very cool.
Right.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So you probably would need the awl for the the cover. Not necessarily
Yes.
the signature, but the thicker cover you're going to need the awl for.
Yes, you're still going to need the awl for the thicker cover, and the awls tend to have this flat top. There's others, they're not all wooden. I've seen plastic ones, but they have that flat top so that you can do your hammering.
Got it. Now I'm just making a mental note of like all the awesome tools that I probably need to buy.
Oh, the awesome.
Supplies. Yes.
Yeah, so those are those two. And then I don't know, I have 10:59 on mine. Do you want to
Well,
do goodbye?
yeah, I guess I'm gonna start doing this sign off. Jennifer, thank you. That went by so quickly. I was like engrossed in your process. Folks, we know you. Whoops. Good night, everybody.